We're still waiting on Mavropanos. I think it is going to happen today. There were some rumours yesterday that he'd failed his medical, but we think they're dodgy rumours. We think they were sort of unfounded, actually. So I think the medical was possibly done. There was just a fine detail, bits and pieces that need to be sorted out over his personal terms. There's some Jesse Lingard stuff today, however. We've got a couple of bits of striker news. Romelu Lukaku, not sure whether it's news, probably just a load of poppycock, to be perfectly honest with you. And then there's a loan move for Hugo Ekitike from Paris Saint-Germain. Do you remember, we were linked with that guy before, and we almost brought him in. Then Newcastle was supposed to be bidding. Then he went over and signed for PSG. He hasn't played for them, though, apparently. We'll get to that. I think I've just sort of explained it anyway. Let's start with the Jesse Lingard stuff. I'm actually going to read from the internet for this one. This has just been sort of bubbling over very, very late on Monday night. It says Jesse Lingard has rejected offers from other clubs where he would have earned more money as he wants to come back to West Ham. He has also reduced his activity on social media to show how determined he is to rejoin the club. Now, I've got to be honest, it's easy for me to be cynical about this. Look, first of all, the news has come from ex-West Ham United employee, and I absolutely believe he's been told this news. I think I'm sort of taking half of it. I've been pretty hard on Jesse Lingard, truth be known, but I think, you get to a point where everybody deserves a second chance, of course. So if he has reduced his social media activity, then good. To be fair, that's not even a grey area, is it? I don't watch that stuff. I don't look at that social media. If you follow Jesse Lingard on social media, you're going to know whether that's the truth or not. Has he or hasn't he? If he really has stopped doing the tweets and the TikToks and all the stuff, then fair enough. The evidence will be before your own eyes. It's not even supposition. It is just there. It's either going to be a fact or it's not. The other bit, he's rejected offers from other clubs. I'm sure he has. He would have earned more money than he did at West Ham. Okay, I'm sort of going to leave that point for a moment because we don't know. The ultimate test of that was, of course, last season where he actually could have joined West Ham for a 3-year contract. Instead, he signed for Nottingham Forest for 1 year and 10 million. They were offering more each year. So I don't know. In all honesty, I think I don't care at that point, really. As I've mentioned before, Jesse Lingard can do all this stuff. He can tweet less. He can drip feed news out into social media that how much he loves West Ham and he wants to join West Ham. I think we've seen all that before. I think that's the thing. We've seen all the nonsense on social media. It's gone beyond that. Now what he needs to do if he is going to join West Ham is score some goals and show some commitment on the pitch. I mentioned it before that, the crossed hammers, the chicken run tweets, all the rest of it. It doesn't matter. It's just noise. There has to be no noise from him now. And to be fair, of committed and a focused Jesse Lingard is a good footballer. He really is. Do I think he'll reach the heights that he reached before? No, I don't think so. But I still think he could be a very, very good asset for West Ham. And considering we don't actually know exactly what's going on with Lucas Paquetá just yet, we'd be fools, I think, as a club, not to take up the option to have him there, sort of in reserve for if we need him. We'll deal with Paquetá in just a second. Before I do, this video is presented to you by the OneFootball. Well, it's not presented to you by the OneFootball app. It's presented to you by me. However, it is sponsored by the OneFootball app, which you can download that up by either clicking the link underneath the screen or using that QR code. I think it might be up there. I'm going to hedge my bets just in case. This screen's in reverse, you see. Look, the OneFootball app is your one-stop shop for all your West Ham footballing needs. Want to know when Jesse Lingard signs? The OneFootball app will tell you. Want to know when Mavropanos is holding up his West Ham shirt? Won't be this one. The OneFootball app will tell you. The OneFootball app will tell you everything you want to know about West Ham, because at the point when you download it, it asks you who you support, what news you want. You say, "Oi, I'll have West Ham news, please." And what it will do is we'll go and search around the internet and newspapers, finding all the West Ham stories. It delivers them to your phone. Best of all, the app is free. Go and check it out. Okay, Lucas Paquetá, as I understand it, he was due to have his hearing on Tuesday, today. However, because of lack of evidence, and listen, this is just what I've heard. I'm not stating this as fact at all. This is the story that I've heard. Because of lack of evidence, some of the legal team have asked for a postponement. So the hearing will now be in 3 weeks' time. That's it. That's all I know. Now, my point is, because we don't actually know what's going to happen in the long term with Lucas Paquetá, it might be wise to have somebody there that can cover for him. Jesse Lingard could certainly do that. I tell you what, though, he'd have to do very well to get up to the standard that Paquetá was playing against Chelsea. I thought he was sensational. I really did. Absolutely brilliant performance. So, yeah, well, as I mentioned it in the previous video, well done him for having the mental fortitude to be able to come through what must have been a really tricky few days. Clearly, we all hope that there's going to be nothing to worry about at the end. I think what is clear, he's not going to move to Man City in this transfer window. I'm not going to rejoice that just yet. Look, I want him to stay at West Ham. But, look, if in 15 games' time he's played 15 games for West Ham and it all seems to be going really well and nothing's happened, I think I might breathe a little sigh of relief just then. For the moment, I'm still a little bit concerned, still a bit worried, biting my fingernails on the whole issue, quite frankly. There was a rumour, Romelu Lukaku to West Ham. I don't know. I think this is really difficult to believe, quite frankly. So I'm not going to believe it. I just can't see how that would be the case. However, we absolutely have heard that West Ham consider a striker to be a priority. Now, I think it should have been a priority all the way along from the moment we sold Scamacca, but I guess it's good to hear it. I doubt anything's changed, and it was a week or 2 weeks ago, but good to hear we're searching for a striker. I already told you in a previous video that Jeremy Doku has signed for Man City. Well, he's either signed for Man City or he was wearing a Man City kit very prematurely, or someone's done some photoshopping and they were winding me up. But yeah, look, massive shame there. I think he would have been a really good player for West Ham, but let's be fair. Once City were involved, then you don't really stand too much of a chance, do you? Which is fair enough and totally understandable. For that reason, we didn't stand a chance if they'd have wanted Paquetá. A bit of a weird set of circumstances have unfolded to ensure that we do keep him. In the short term, the other player I want to talk about is Ekitike. Now, he was, you might remember this guy, as I mentioned earlier on in the video. We were linked with him before, and he was a Stade Rennais or something. Yeah, he was, Stade de Rennes, which was, of course, where Will Still went on to become manager. I think he then went to PSG. Folarin Balogun went in there and did well. Look, strikers clearly do well at that club, but he's just not really played at PSG. Now, the irony is PSG picked him up because when we signed Gianluca Scamacca about 13 months ago, he almost went to PSG and he chose Scamacca, I'm talking about here. He chose West Ham instead. And in the end, that's why PSG went and got Ekitike. Oh, so honestly, like 6 degrees of separation. This stuff is crazy, really, isn't it? So, yeah, anyway, we might be looking at getting him on loan with a view to a £30 million move. He's a really good player, but he can't get into that PSG team. Hey, look, I mean, I guess there's no shame in that, really, is there? So if he can come and do a job for West Ham, then fair enough. I just hope that these striker targets don't mean we miss out on Kudus. Obviously, I mentioned in yesterday's video that we were linked once again with Youssef En-Nesyri. All I can say is that later on in the day, I didn't hear that rumour again, actually, funny enough. So it sort of it seems to have arisen and then died down as quickly as it came to light. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It is just one of those things that seems to pop up on every transfer window. It's Ida Johnson-itis, I like to call it. Actually, I don't think I've ever called it that before, but it is very much like the Ida Johnson situation there. There's no doubt about that. Lots to run, lots happening today, I hope. I really, really do hope. I think, we'll be back later on with the announcement, hopefully, of our new centre-back. That should be really, really interesting. And hopefully, I do hope that we've not stopped negotiating with Ajax for Kudus, as I mentioned. David Moyes said he wants 2 more players. Okay, yeah. I think we need 3. And that doesn't include something unfortunate. I was going to say something unfortunate happening to Aaron Cresswell. I don't mean he falls over and hurts his toe or something. I mean him sort of signing for Wolves. So I'd like it with 3. David Moyes likes a small squad. Bit funny, though. I really can. There's a couple. I'll deal with it in another video. There's a couple of players I can see being bit part players who I can see going out the door and leaving before the end of the transfer window. Won't take you. I was going to say I'll let you guess who that is, but it ain't much of a mystery. The 2 players I'm going to pick.